It was 2006, and I was in line in Paris to get on my flight from Paris to LA. And there was this guy standing in front of me. And I'm looking at this guy, like, he's like 6'5", big guy, and probably weighed close to 400 pounds, and he's wearing a three-piece suit. And I'm like, you poor son of a bitch. You're going to be sitting in the back of this airplane with me in these little tiny seats, and you're wearing a three-piece suit. I've got on, gray sweatpants and a white T-shirt, and I'm just looking at this poor bastard, and he turns around and says, hey.
Hey, isn't that guy behind us a famous actor?
And I said, oh, let me turn around, And I looked, and Johnny Depp standing back there, and he raises one of his eyebrows. I can't do that when you raise just one eyebrow. I can raise them both, but I can't do just one. He raised that one eyebrow at me, and I turned around and I said, oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's Ben Stiller. And the guy just turned and says, oh, no. That is not Ben Stiller. And he goes, he's a famous actor, but it's not Ben Stiller. And I turned around, I looked back at Johnny Depp, and he raised that one eyebrow at me, and I got back on in line for the plane, and we finally boarded. It was a 777, completely packed to the gills. And Johnny Depp, he's behind me in line. You were in first class. You're the first guy on the plane. I was in the very back of the plane, so I'm in the very back of the line. And I'm wondering, why was Johnny Depp behind me to get on this plane? And no kidding, man, 8 years later, I have a friend, and we're hanging out on her patio in Port Hueneme, California. She knew all the Hollywood people because she was a party supply person, if you know what I'm saying. And she knew all the Hollywood people. And she said, one day I got a text message from Johnny Depp. And he says, hey, I'm flying Paris to LA in coach just to see what the experience is like. And that finally answered the question. It's like, why was Johnny Depp behind me? Otherwise, I never would have called him Ben Stiller. So that's it.
Come see the John and Dave duo at Camo's in St. Peter this Friday night from 7 to 10.
I'm Dave.